So we made it through 2020. It's only been 11 months and there's still a large chunk of December that we have to get through, but it feels like the hard portion of one of the more forgettable years is over. And I couldn't help noticing one extremely odd thing. So I couldn't help noticing when I was searching for just really good albums of this year that many major publications had already posted their top 50, top 100, top 25 albums of the year in 2020. And there's nothing wrong with that. We've gone through about 11 months of it. You would expect people to know basically what they were going to like and what they weren't going to like. But I'm still very confused by just the large mass of everyone doing it. Like, usually there'd be one outlying website that would do it really early like then, and then something that came out in December would be chunked onto next year. But this was all of the publications just all collectively posting their favorite albums. Now, I'm not going to critique anyone for their tastes or preferences, even if some of them personally didn't make sense to me. But I will point out how it's so strange that we're preemptively doing this already. Like, I get it, 2020 has been a year of sorts, and that is the most positive way I can put it. A year, I want to put it on screen, just a year of sorts. That is the best way you can describe it. There's been some things that have happened, whether they be good or bad, but they've happened nonetheless. And I'm just really a little disappointed. It feels almost lazy and just really throwaway. I know that we really want to get through this year, and I know that this is one of the more positive aspects of this year, which was the really good music that we got in spite of an entire global pandemic and artists' inability to tour or do many shows. But still, I really think that they should wait, because there's been many times where when you do something way too early and you end up costing you, I'd say just let it simmer. In fact, I know a lot of publications try to get these lists out early as possible, but not too early. Like, they will be somewhere after Christmas, a bit before Christmas, so that way they think they've gotten a large chunk of the albums done and they've listened to a lot of stuff. But there's a lot of stuff that gets released and that goes under the radar. One thing that comes to mind is Roddy Ricch's Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial. That came out the very, very end of 2019, and it was one of the best projects of that year. I still enjoy it. I listen to a few tracks every now and then. It is such a great launching pad for a future superstar that is Roddy Ricch. Now, if last year they had released their top 50 albums this early into December, they would have missed such a great project like that. And that project did not deserve to miss. I think everyone who says they're a fan of really good music or even hip-hop should give that album a listen. It is just genuinely something unique. Roddy has such a great voice, and he's such a good storyteller, and the production is off the charts for that album. It's a strong recommendation. And one thing I really liked about the project was it shows a mixture of Roddy's new sound, his influences from people like Future and Young Thug, but it also shows how their sound has evolved and has influenced the future generations that will be making music in the next decade. And most people could have missed it if they made their albums of the year this early. Another instance of an album coming out really late was 21 Savage's I Am Greater Than I Was, and that is one of the best albums of 2018, just straight out, flat out, and it came out at the very end of the year. It should have been in top 50 lists or even top 20 lists, depending on your opinion, and if they had done that, people would have missed out on it. Even though it's 21 Savage's quite a large audience, these lists really can remind people to go back to some albums, or even if someone wants to get a bit of a catch-up of stuff they missed, it's just really nice to have such a cohesive list with reasons why the album's good, what kind of qualities it has, and why you should listen to it. Now, I don't have a problem with any of these lists personally. There are some picks that confuse me, and I'm not going to lie, like, I try to keep my personal bias out of an essay like this. But what the fuck is this doing here? What the fuck is... You know what you are. I don't want to deal with you. But I'd say I was really sad because just to see it out this early and this confusing and sloppy, the complex list just really baffled me because it was basically a hip hop list, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they would sprinkle in a few little gems there that I think everyone really should check out, like Fiona Apple's album, and for some, Taylor Swift's Folklore is in there. But it was just so strange how it would just be every third placement or so. It's like when you're at a buffet and you've gone to get, like, you know, your usual unhealthy stuff, you know, the fried chicken, you'd get the chips with it, and then it's just like your parents watching you and you're like, oh crap, so you get like a singular vegetable. That's what it's like putting items in there. It's like Fiona Apple and Taylor Swift are the vegetables of this buffet plate. And yeah, so I'm just here to say my list will not be 50 albums. I've only listened to about 72 albums as of recording this video, and that's a lot of albums. It's not enough for an extremely valid music critic, and the genres are not as diverse as what people who work for Pitchfork and Complex should be. However, I'd say it's just a mixture of albums I wanted to listen to, the things I heard were good, and I didn't go out of my way to torture myself with anything horrendous, which is why I didn't listen to this album. I may do a reaction listening to it. It'll just be me in like physical pain. If you guys want that, please suggest it in the comments. So yeah, my list will be out at the start of 2021 because I want to show that we made it past the year that is 2020, and I want to remind you that despite the hardships and struggles and shitty days you had, this is one good thing you can come back onto for that year, and it's the music. So please, just wait before you start listing. Thank you all for watching. I really wanted to make a video, and I haven't done one of these personal videos in a while with a bit more editing, you know, a script. Well, it's not really a script. It's just me actually like thinking about like, what do I want to make? And, you know, I got the setup here. I'm going to get 2 more posters there on the side. Wait, no, actually 3 more posters. There's going to be one behind me fucking head, and then 2 more there. It's going to be, it's going to be a surprise, bit of a surprise, you know. I'd like to thank you all for sticking around. I've got some music in the vault that I'm still making for my album. Got about 4 tracks down. I've got about, I'd say 17 songs that I've written, and I just need to get someone to help me produce them, or, you know, just pop off one of those onto one of my own tracks. But yeah, thanks for actually sticking around. We hit 1,500 views. We're on 19 subs. I'm grateful to all of you for being here, and even, like, you know, listening, looking at my face, and listening to my opinion for some reason. And yeah, we've also upgraded the mic to this bad boy because for my album I want that sound to sound crisp and vibrant as hell. But yeah, have a good one. Have a blessed day.